Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name is Joe Davis, and today my question is: how do you define Lynchian? So, first of all, this is David Lynch, as you may not know. So the term Lynchian actually came off of his last name, so David Lynch. Um, so basically he's a experimental film artist, and he's very well known for making a few movies, for example, like Blue Velvet, Eraserhead, which I'll explain later. Um, so he was born in January 20th, 1946, as an American filmmaker, painter, musician, actor, and photographer. So he's been described by The Guardian as the most important director of this era because his experimental films, if you explained it to someone who's a very good filmmaker or knows or is interested in filmmaking, they'll be like, oh yeah, they know who David Lynch is. And he, while All movie called him the Renaissance man of modern American filmmaking. And one of the first video recordings of the David Lynch interview dates from 1979. So the 20-minute produced for television course at the University of California, which is where he's obviously studied, um, and in California, Los Angeles, and his first feature experimental film was Eraserhead, so that was produced in 1977. This was the moment of Lynch's first brush with occult fame, so that's when everyone was like really interested in the first film he made. So he was doing a 3-year run as a midnight movie at the New Art Theatre in Santa Monica and Boulevard, and his first project in 1967 was the short film called Six Men Getting Sick, which was an animated film, and he also did another animated film which was, I think it was called like Rabbit or something like that. It's really weird. Let's bit about him. So this is like an example of one of Lynchian's short films. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah.
So tired of fire, so tired of smoke, so tired of fire, so tired of smoke. Send me an angel, save me. Send me an angel, save me.
So, as you might expect from this, I guess it's a music video, because when I searched it up, it didn't really say it was just a David Lynch, like, short, like, project or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, it's very weird. It's got like quite like a interesting type of music background, but the actual video itself is just very random. So so let's start talking about Lynch in itself. So it's a style of effect, and which is used in all of his films. So Lynchian is basically made to make the audience feel uncomfortable, which I saw in one of David Lynch's interviews. He mentioned that he likes to make his audience feel very uncomfortable, and he likes to make his style of films very nightmarish. Because in most of short films he's done and main films like Blue Velvet, as I watched myself, is very, very like strange and I don't know, just over weird, because that's what David Lynch's films is mostly about. And so another example is he uses like a lot of odd images, and I think in some of his he uses a lot of like still projects as well. So just random images to show like emotion or whatnot. But lynching can also be aimed at, so for example, like objects, like places, clothing, or like a feeling, mainly aimed at feeling, as like I said before, is to make it nightmarish, and it's mostly to create like a atmosphere or a type of experience, and that no one can really describe. I mean, like other films, so films that you see on cinemas, they have like a storyline and you can understand it, but with the Lynchian type of feel, it's meant to have like you're watching it, but it doesn't really make sense, or as you can say. Um, so yeah, I mean, with my conclusion, I feel like the term lynching can be a very impacting type of way to aim at experimental films. There's experimental films as a whole. Um, Lynching is literally the experimental films. As most people when they obviously make an experimental film, they're like Lynching. So just that's what it is. And I think that David Lynch is basically the soul of experimental films itself, because the term Lynchian came off of his own name, so that's why it's mostly used in all of experimental films. Yeah, that's it.